Songvest. Hello.
How are you doing?
I am great. Thank you. How are you? Welcome to Streaming Hub Radio, the Candid Karma show on a Flippin' Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday. Ready for the weekend.
Yes, I am. We are. So, Sean Peace, tell me a little bit about Songvest.
Sure. So we have a great opportunity with Songvest to help artists better connect with fans. So we kind of started I started back in 2007 looking to help songwriters and producers and artists be able to monetize their royalties, basically sell either a portion or all of their catalog to investors because everyone needs, some financial liquidity. And we've grown and grown and grown, and now we're launching a new offering that allows, again, anyone that has a royalty stream in music to be able to share that with a much broader audience, and that's the fans. So you've probably heard a lot about NFTs and things like that.
Right.
We think we do one even better because you actually get to in the royalties from that song or that music. So we're super excited about being able to offer this to fans to be able to, in essence, invest and be in the same boat as the record label and the artist and the songwriter, so that they're all rowing in the same direction and sharing in the income stream. So we're super excited about it.
So, when somebody says that they are buying royalties, what are they buying? They're buying the song, the album,
Yeah, so it all depends on who's selling it, right? So if you look at music, at the lowest tier is who wrote the song. So those are the songwriters. Usually they're behind the scenes. It depends on the artist. Sometimes it's a singer-songwriter.
Right.
But a lot of songs are written by, great songwriters. And so they make money on performance royalties and mechanical royalties. And then you have a producer or a publisher who might be on top of that, who's also sharing in songwriter royalties, and the producer would then share in some of the mechanicals. And then finally, ultimately, you have the record label and the artist that are sharing in their version of that song. So a songwriter, like for Happy Birthday, would get paid every time Happy Birthday was sung. But if Beyonce did her version of Happy Birthday, then she's going to make her money, on her version of that song. And so any one of those royalty streams, someone might say, oh, I need to get some liquidity. Maybe my kids are going to college, or I need to buy a new house. And so they would come to us and say, hey, I'd like to sell, a portion of my catalog. And we have different financial options for them. It could be an advance where it's just 2 or 3 years of royalties. Or sometimes they might say, I need to sell 50% of my whole catalog. So it just depends.
That is very interesting. What advice would you give to artists about their royalties, knowing more about how they can gain and garner from their music?
Yeah, great question. So in the past, until we started to launch this new offering, you would have to sell to an investor. So you might come to our marketplace or some of the other marketplaces that are out there, and you would put your catalog up for sale, and one investor would come in and purchase it. What we've done now is democratize it so that anyone can purchase. And so we split that income stream up into thousands of units so that a fan, an investor fan, can come in and, for example, purchase for as little as $20 a share. Now, why is that important? It's important because now you have thousands of fan investors, right, that want to make sure that you're successful. So you can engage those fans. So it's not just that you wanted, you needed money to put your kid through college or to buy a new car. It's how can you engage your fans in a different way so that they can help promote your music. So it's all about engaging the fans having them, I always say they're in the same boat with you. So everyone is trying to promote your albums and your music, or even if you're on the road, like they may own some of your songs, not own them, but they're going to get paid royalties on them. And what's good is you can now engage those fans. It's not just like a super fan. These are invested fans. So these are fans that say, if I help this person when they're on the road, that hopefully means that more people will know about the artist and more people will stream those songs that I own some part ownership in. And that helps everybody out. So it's a whole different way of thinking about the music business, instead of trying to go out and hit the road and do concerts and do the other things you might do to make sure that fans are aware of your music. This is like one even better, because now you have thousands of people who are part of your street team.
I like that. I love it. So royalties. When can someone receive like payments for their royalties? When do you receive it?
Sure, great question. It depends on the royalty stream. So royalties are paid out anywhere from, like, if it's performance royalties, like when you play music on the radio on your show, those performance royalties are paid out by like BMI or ASCAP or CSAC, and they're usually paid out quarterly. If you're getting royalties from your record label, if it's a large record label, they're usually paying twice a year. And then if you're on your own, like if you sign up for the Orchard or CD Baby or things like that, then you're usually going to get paid monthly. So it just depends on the type of royalty, on when you get paid. Now, what we do at Songvest is, once you purchase any of these catalogs, we pay out quarterly. So if income comes in, we make those payments on a quarterly basis.
So I wanted to ask this question. I thought I said to myself, maybe I can ask Songbest, they could tell me. So an artist made a comment about music, right? And the fact that sales and streaming doesn't necessarily determine the success of an album or the success of a single. Is How do you feel about that comment? Is that true? Because don't streams and purchasing music equate to some form of success for the album, the artist, the producer, the writer, all of that?
Well, you would certainly think so, right? I mean, if it depends on how people are consuming your music, but you would think that if you're successful, there would be people on Spotify and iTunes and Deezer or Tidal that would be streaming your music. So, it may not be in an artist's mind. They may say, hey, I'm successful just because I get to do what I love and I get to tour and engage with fans. So everyone has their own definition of success. I would say the music industry on a whole would say, yes, success is about streaming. I mean, you could say, okay, I'm a great tour band and I get a lot of fans, but you would think if you are touring a lot and have a lot of fans, that would, extrapolate into a lot of streaming.
Okay, got it. So if for any reason, right, somebody chooses not to sell the royalties, is that an option? Like, are there other options if they choose not to do that?
Yeah, what's so great is there's a wide range of options that are afforded artists and songwriters and producers today that weren't available when I started this back in 2007. So there's multiple companies, including our own, where you can get shorter term advances. Like a lot of people, for whatever reason, can't go to a bank to get an advance or to get a loan. So they can go to one of a multitude of companies that provide music advances on future royalties. And those can be anywhere from 12 months to 3 years. I just heard about a new company that will go all the way out to 8 years. So what's good is, as long as you have kind of that base of income coming in, then they will forward your royalties for several years. And of course, they take a fee for that. But that way you don't have to sell your royalties.
I was going to ask if there were any fees associated with that.
Yes. So even though it's called in advance, you can still think of it like a loan because there is going to be this rate, like an interest rate. But because the royalties are variable, you can't plan out and say, oh, it's going to be $500 a month like a car payment, because it might be 400 one month, it might be 1,000 the next month. So it's kind of variable, but there is this concept of an interest rate that's associated with it.
And the variable is dependent on sales.
Exactly. It can be dependent on, if it's on a songwriter, it could be dependent on radio play, or it could be dependent on streams. Yes.
Understood. Okay. So my final question to you. Where can we find Songvest? Like, I go on songvest.com. What do I do next? How do I get in touch? If I want more information on what your company offers and how I can get in on it, where should we send people?
Yeah, you can come to songvest.com, and there's a section for artists or royalty owners, and usually the process is pretty painless. Once you fill out the form, we'll evaluate the royalties and we'll give you different options. So there's options on advances all the way up to engaging fans, and trying to, again, not just provide you financial solution, but a fan base solution. How can I engage more fans? How can I grow my fan base? So it's rather quick that we turn that information around. So once you come to the site and fill out the form, usually within 24 hours, we'll have a response back that, again, will give you that wide range of financial options.
What's the most payout you've ever seen?
Yeah.
You ever seen like a large payout for anybody?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that I've seen it. Usually once we sell it, we don't track those particular royalties anymore. But it's always a good and a bad. I mean, if there's a good payout, the songwriter might say, "Oh, I missed that opportunity," where the investor might go, "Oh, that was great for me." But and reverse, right? I mean, what we always try and do is tell them not to sell 100%. Keep some of the royalties. Engage the fans if that's what you want to do. So sell a small portion to engage the fan base. But we're not out here saying, oh, hey, you have to, you should go out and sell your royalties. It's all about having some kind of end game, whether it's in fan engagement, financial engagement, depends on what the individual artist or songwriter or producer needs.
Thank you, Sean. Wow.
Oh, well, thank you.
You guys do a lot. I think we've pretty much been pushing this product for a while, and I'm almost sure after this you probably, see some people over there trying to figure out, okay, how do I get my royalties? I think it's a good thing for artists to get involved in. And I like the fact that not only do you have a chance to kind of, explore your music, but you're connecting with fans, and that can
Yes.
even further propel your music and your artistry.
Exactly. If there's one thing to get out of this interview today, it's how can you engage fans and grow your fan base? Yeah. And we think we've got one of the most unique ways in which to do that. And there's no tighter connection than having fans who are invested in your future.
Thank you, Sean. Yay! Songvest, your online marketplace for buying and selling royalties. I have been talking to Sean Peace. Thank you so much for joining us on Streaming Hub Radio and for the Candid Kharma show on a Flippin' Friday.
Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Same to you, Sean.
Bye.